my beauty buddies. I have been dying to get one of the Beautylish Lucky Bags ever since I heard about them last year. They sounded fantastic. I love the brands that Beautylish carries. I figured it would be a good bag. And, kind of had my fingers crossed that I get certain items, but I knew it would be total luck of the draw on what I got because, it's just a random thing. So it showed up. We were on vacation. I live like a half hour from where Beautylish headquarters are, so I'm sure mine was there the day after they shipped, but we just got back. So what I did is I've used the items a bit so I could talk about them in addition to showing you what I got. When I first opened this box, I was like, oh my God, it's Christmas. These are all brands and items that I totally want. And then one of them actually wasn't what I wanted because I thought it was, but then I started using it and realized it was a little different, which totally made it horrible for me. Because I've been using them, the packaging isn't quite as, perfect as it was, but it's super cute. It has a little tag here. It says that Lucky Bags are a New Year's custom in Japan, which inspired us to create our own. We can't wait to see what you received. And it has the hashtags that if you post, you should use. And then they had it, again, much nicer than this because I've been in this. And let me show you what is inside. The first item that I didn't use this in particular, but boy, I could have used it on my trip. I was going through withdrawals not having this. This is the Bioderma Sensibo Micellar Water. This stuff is fantastic. I just wet a cotton pad and just my eye makeup comes off. You can use it on your face, you can use it as a toner, and it never burns or stings or anything. It just feels great and very, you feel fresh afterwards. So I love this stuff. I have the big size, so I was really kind of missing it on my vacation. We were gone for 10 days. I was making use of the wipes and stuff that I just don't like as much because the stuff is so awesome. And this is a $6.95 value. So I'm glad to have it because I love this and now I have a mini and I don't have to buy it. The second item is by Kevin Aquan. This is the Primed Skin Developer, and it is a primer. I am using it now, and it works nicely. I did use this for a couple days. My makeup seemed to stand pretty well, and my skin looked smooth, but I have to tell you, I've been using the Neutrogena Men's Sensitive Skin Aftershave Balm. That stuff made my makeup stay on in the heat and humidity of Mexico. So I haven't had heat and humidity to try this on, but this is a very nice primer. It's $68. I don't know if I would spend $68 on it unless it can really do what the Neutrogena one did, but that's like $5 or $6. So probably would just keep buying that, but this is a nice to have. So it's just, it's just kind of like a gel, clearish gel. You probably can't even see it, and you just smooth it on. It doesn't feel particularly moisturizing, so if you have dry skin like I do, I've been definitely putting moisturizer on underneath. Comes with this little thing on top to protect the tip, so if you travel you can't push it down. So I'm trying really hard to save this in case I take it with me. I was super excited when I pulled this out. It is the Self-Made palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I've been wanting to try this. I've heard great things about it. Here it is, in case you're not familiar with it. It's a really nice palette. This is kind of like a fabric, and then it has this nice, badge with the logo on it. And then when you open it up, it has a, don't want to blind you, mirror up there, and then these are all the shades, and it comes with a brush. It's a decent brush. It's not probably the best brush in the whole world, but it definitely will get the job done. I did try to do my makeup with just using that brush one time, and it turned out fine. Not as good as when I had my whole array of all the different brushes that I could use. But I have a whole other video I'm going to shoot after this about what I brought on my trip, and then what I really needed for my trip when I had to really pare it down and just have one night's worth of stuff and I couldn't carry a lot. So that'll be interesting because you can make do when you have to, right? So I'm sure that there are a zillion different YouTube videos if you want all the swatches and all that. I'm trying to make this not that long. I wish there were a few more matte shades in here, but I was able to do my eye makeup. This is all done with this palette. That's it. I put the MAC Painterly underneath this, and I think the colors look really good. I have tried the Urban Decay primer under it, the Eden one, and the regular one, and the Ofra one. And I have to tell you, I think that the MAC one worked the best with this particular palette for my eyelids. I don't have particularly oily or dry eyelids. They're just like normal eyelids, I guess. But for me, I find that that made the colors pop the most. So what I mainly used was buttery. I used that kind of, all over. and then on the inner corner. Then I used the hot chocolate and the sherbet. I used those here. I kind of used the sherbet first and then the hot chocolate kind of more in the crease and up above. And then I wet my brush and put it in the pink champagne. Oh my God, I love this pink champagne. I didn't find I was getting it packed on enough with a dry brush, so I wet my brush and then I just kind of, packed it on there. So that's what I have on my eyes right now. Oh, and then I also did use some of the Spirit Rock along my upper lash line before I put my liner. This has a $35 value. Now we get to the item that I was so excited about. I saw Becca and I saw Opal and I was like, yes, I've always wanted that. And I was super happy about it because it's $38 and I have enough highlighters that I didn't really want to buy it. I've heard so much about it. Problem is, it's the poured one, which means it's not the powder, it's the cream. It's lovely. It really is. I mean, check this out. It's gorgeous. I'm not saying I have a problem with the color or anything, but it's that it's the cream. On me, the cream highlighters just don't work in real life. They're probably fine on camera. If I put this on now, you'd be like, what's she complaining about? But my fine lines, I don't have a lot of lines, but the lines that I do have, the minute, and it doesn't just have to be the Becca one, any cream highlighter, it just somehow makes my fine lines just boom, jump off my face. So I'm really sad. Now, one thing I did with this though, because I was like, I've got this, what am I going to do with it? Because I'm not going to use it as a highlighter around my eyes for sure. I tried to use it actually kind of in my inner corner and on part of my lid, kind of as a base to put another kind of, similar goldy color under, and tried that out. And it wore pretty well. I mean, because it is pretty creamy on your eyelids, it didn't last that long. It did start to crease after about 5 hours or so, but for some instant kind of pop or so, it worked pretty well. So I don't know, maybe I could just use it as a little blob of highlight on my nose or something. I don't know, but I'm just really bummed. I really wish this was the powder, but oh well, luck of the draw, right? And this has a $38 value. The last item in my lucky bag is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder. I was super psyched about this because I've heard great things about this for so long. I've been wanting to try it, but I have enough powder, so I just hadn't bought it. And I really, really like it. This has a $29 value, and it's just a really nice powder. It comes this compact like this. There is a little sponge here underneath. I generally don't use these. I usually use a brush. I just keep a little tiny one in my purse if I take it with me. And it does a beautiful job, and it really does hide the pores. I don't have huge pores, but I did notice when I put this on, I looked totally poreless. So it really does work well, I have to say. It's just, a kind of translucent. I mean, it's not even showing up on my finger, so there's nothing much I can really show you, but it's on my face. But I also have bronzer and other stuff on too, so you can't tell unless I look extra flawless and poreless today. But I really do how it looks in real life, which is the important thing, right? Because on the camera, that's not what matters as much as real life. And it wore really well and it felt good on. It didn't feel heavy or weird or anything. So I'm really happy to have this. The total value of my lucky bag that I paid, by the time you had the shipping and the tax or whatever else there was on there, it was about $80. And my value was $176.95. So even if you take off that Becca Opal poured highlighter that, I wish it were the powder. Anyone want to trade? Anyhow, if I took that off, I mean, I'm still at almost $150 and I paid $80 for it. And they're all things I actually did want. I kind of would have loved to have had some Charlotte Tilbury or, they've got a couple other brands there that would have been really nice to get that I saw some people got, but I do like what I got, so I can't really complain. I knew it was a gamble, and truly, I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with every item in there, except for the one, but that's my fault that it just, on me, just makes my lines look bad. Because, I mean, I don't have that many, but you should see how liney I look when I have it on. So overall, I'm really thrilled with this. I will totally buy it next year. I'm glad that they do it. And again, it was beautifully wrapped. It came promptly. I was out of the country, but I think the text popped up when I got home that on the day it shipped, it told me it had shipped. So their customer service level is super, and I really do appreciate that. If you have any questions, do ask below, and I would love to know what you got in your lucky bag. Let me know if you got one too. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day or evening wherever you are.